All right. Welcome to another episode of Navigating English, the podcast where we explore the challenges and triumphs of learning the English language. I'm your host, Heidi, and today we have an important topic to talk about. It is the critical reading for students challenged by the English language. And joining me here are 5 fellow Filipino college students who are eager to share their experiences and insights. And let's begin by introducing each of them briefly, sharing their background in learning English. Okay, thank you all for being here today. To kick things off, let's get to know each of you a bit better. Who wants to go first?
Hello everyone. Hello Miss Heidi. I'm Ian
Hello.
Charles Villanueva and I'm currently pursuing a degree in medical technology. I've been learning English since elementary school, but critical reading has always been a challenging aspect for me.
So, hello, I'm Rhen, also a MEDTECH student. I'd say English has been part of my education for as long as I can remember. But critical reading has proven to be a formidable difficulty.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Miss Heidi, for inviting me here and for making
You're
me part of
welcome.
today's episode, rather. So, anyways, I am Jayvhie Ann, and also majoring in medical technologies in Olfu Cabanatuan campus. So, my background in English is my second language, and I've encountered numerous difficulties, especially when it comes to critical reading.
And I'm Angelica, pursuing a degree in medical technology too. English has always been a significant part of my life, but critical reading is a skill I'm constantly working to improve.
All right. Thank you. And hello to all of you too. So, wow, I'm left behind. I'm the only nursing student here. Okay. Thank you all for Okay, thank you all for sharing all your backgrounds. And it's clear that critical reading is a common challenge, right?
Yeah, I agree
Yes.
with that.
All right. And can you elaborate further on the specific struggles that you've encountered while trying to master it? Oh, yeah. Who wants to go first?
Me? Me
Okay.
first? Oh,
Thank
so
you.
for me, it's a complexity of English texts. Understanding figurative language, metaphors, etc. can be daunting, especially since I'm not a native English speaker. So, can I share something?
Of course.
Yes,
Feel free.
Thank you. I remember when I was in junior high, if I'm not mistaken, we had an activity in English class, which is impromptu speech. I was too nervous that time because I don't know how to express my feelings and thought using English language since I'm not confident in speak in English. But I'm just a little bit lucky that time because we don't have enough time for that period, so I wasn't able to perform.
Yeah, you're lucky.
Thank you.
All right.
So, for me, I struggle with comprehension. Sometimes I read the paragraph multiple times, but it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. I can relate to that.
I think it is easy to understand, but when I repeatedly read the paragraph, the words or sentences just don't make sense anymore. And I'll just give up because I cannot even understand everything after that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what you said. And because of, I think that's what usually happens to some of us. And although it is a common situation, we can still improve and enhance our comprehension.
Yes, yes, you're right.
So for me, the struggles that I've encountered while trying to master it, not master it, sorry for the word, ladies and gentlemen. The exact word is to learn it.
Yeah.
So we all know that vocabulary can be a huge barrier. I often encounter unfamiliar words that can hinder my understanding of the text. So sometimes I browse it, or I also browse it on the internet just to know what it means.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that. With the vocabulary issue. And additionally, I think cultural references in English literature can be also challenging to grasp for especially for us non-native speakers.
As for me, I often feel overwhelmed by the high volume of reading assignments. Finding time to engage with each text truly is tough.
Yeah. And thank you for all of that. And yeah, these are all valid concerns. And I think we can all relate again. So, how have you been working to overcome these challenges?
Me. I overcome these challenges by reading more English books and articles outside of my coursework. It's helping me become more comfortable with the language.
Uh-huh. And yeah, based on my experience, reading English books as well as dictionaries can be a huge help to expand your vocabulary.
Yes. And also, I took a notes when I encounter some unfamiliar words or phrases so that I can remember the definition of it.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
and
a
I
great
do that
strategy.
too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do that in note taking.
Yeah.
So, for me, I've been seeking help from my professors, classmates, and friends. So sometimes discussing a difficult text with others can provide valuable insights.
Yes.
So as for me, think I should thank the flashcards because that flashcards, sorry for the redundancy, our dearest viewers, had been a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Creating a new list of vocabulary words and reviewing them regularly has improved my reading comprehension. So
I agree with reading English books and dictionaries. Understanding the context and meaning behind the text makes it easier to grasp. And for me, the time management is the key. I've learned to prioritize my reading assignments and give sufficient time for each.
Yes, I agree with you, Angelica. Time management and also discipline are the most crucial elements since if we can manage our time by prioritizing improving our knowledge of English vocabulary, then we can easily comprehend the context of the message.
Yes. And yeah, those are excellent strategies. So now, for our listeners who might be facing similar struggles, so what advice do you have for them? Anyone?
Me, personally, my advice for them is don't be discouraged by the challenges. With persistence and practice, critical reading can become more manageable.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that because they say practice makes everything perfect.
Yes,
So
agree.
Yeah. I
So
agree with
for
that.
me, they can seek help when needed. So
Mhm.
don't hesitate to ask questions to know the meaning behind difficult texts.
So as for me, I think the advice that I can give to those might facing the same struggles like us is we all know that that building our vocabulary is a crucial. So make it a daily habit and use new words in your writing. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, they can explore English literature too to understand better the context behind the text they read.
Yes,
Yes, I agree with that.
that's right.
Just remember that it's okay to break and manage your time wisely. Overloading yourself with reading can be counterproductive.
All right. And is that all?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you all for your valuable insights and advice. And yes, critical reading may be challenging, but we should always remember that all difficulties can be overcome and with rather dedication and the right strategies.
Yes.
And now that we've talked about all your personal struggles, let's talk more about the barriers of students that is challenged by the English language that make it difficult to do the critical reading.
Mm,
Um,
Um, in
Who
my
wants?
opinion,
Okay.
I go first. In my
Okay.
opinion, the number one struggle is the language barrier because non-native speakers like us may have been trouble understanding complex sentences, sayings,
Yeah.
and tricky words as it is not our mother tongue or our first language, which can cause us to misunderstanding the text.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
For me, I'd say vocabulary can be the second barrier
Mm-hmm.
because a small vocabulary can make it hard to understand subtext like academic or fancy ones because they use words that non-native students like us don't
Mm-hmm.
use daily.
Yes. Yes.
So as for me, I think you can also count figurative language like metaphors, comparisons, and other creative languages that can be puzzling for students unfamiliar with them. Again, this is particularly us, which is the non-native speakers,
Mm-hmm.
because this can make it harder for us to understand the text correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to additional that also that critical thinking, when we read
Mm-hmm.
critically, we students need to study, judge, and explain the text carefully. So for
Yeah.
us, the non-native speakers, doing this is an a language they are not completely fluent in. So it can be tough. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
True. Mm-hmm.
I think cultural references may also count. English
Mm-hmm.
literature sometimes talks about Western culture and history. Students from non-English backgrounds might find it tough to get these references, which makes understanding the text context more challenging.
Yeah, I agree with all of you, and I think we can also add the fear of mistakes. So, because worrying about making grammar mistakes or not understanding can make students anxious, and which makes it harder for them to read and understand the text.
Yes. Fear of
Mm-hmm.
mistakes usually happens especially if a person has had an experience that affect their self-esteem. It commonly
Mm-hmm.
happens to students who are conscious of their vocabularies or when speaking in public. They think too much about the words they use because they are afraid to make mistakes.
And also, there are some instances that they are afraid of making mistakes because they might be. might get bullied, laughed at by their classmates, or degrade their confidence, when in fact we can help them correct and improve their vocabularies.
Mhm.
Yes, and I agree with Miss Angelica. And we also should understand that to improve our skills and enhance our knowledge, to build a strong foundation of confidence in English language, so that we can help someone by guiding and correcting them to boost their self-esteem. And we should always remember that we can learn from our mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
I
correct.
agree with that.
that's right.
And what you all said is helpful to, especially to those who need to lift their confidence in English language. And furthermore, can you share some tips or rather strategies on how to build a better foundation and gain deeper knowledge in critical reading for, again, students that is challenged by the English language?
Yes. I think in reading comprehension, they should emphasize the importance of understanding the main idea and supporting details. They should also teach students how to identify the author's purpose and tone, help them to recognize the cause and effect relationships within the text. They should know that the strategy for inferring the meanings of unfamiliar words from context and introduce them to academic vocabulary commonly found in reading materials. So this can easily help them to learn when they are having difficulties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the tips or strategies that I can give to our dear viewers out there. Hello, everyone, especially
Hi.
to those students that need this to build foundation and gain knowledge in critical reading is to develop their ability to ask a probing question about the text. Of course, once they have become curious about that unfamiliar words or text that they read, they will have their agency to find its meaning. And that way they can consider multiple perspectives and viewpoints.
Also, they can teach students how to summarize passages in their own words, encourage paraphrasing exercises to improve language skills. Paraphrasing or summarizing is one of the effective strategies for those students who are having a hard time understanding words that they are unfamiliar with.
Yes.
Maybe they can connect critical reading skills to real-life situations such as understanding contracts, news articles, or academic papers. For better understanding, connecting it to real-life situations is the best way to view different aspects and visualize the words that are difficult to comprehend.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for all your experiences and advice to our listeners. That will be helpful. And all right, that's a wrap for today's video, or rather episode of Navigating English. We hope you found this discussion enlightening. And a special thanks to all of you, to our wonderful guests, for sharing again their experiences and thoughts. And if you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And until next time, don't forget to keep learning, keep reading, and keep conquering the world of English. Alright, goodbye. Thank you.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you.
Also, thank you,
Thank you so
Heidi.
much.
Until next
You're
time.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Till next time. Okay. Thank you.